In the dead of night on June 24, 1988, 18-year-old Louise Kay vanished without a trace from the quiet streets of Eastbourne. A gold Ford Fiesta with a white driver's door, her last known link, disappeared into the darkness as if swallowed by the cliffs of Beachy Head. No body, no car, no answers. For decades, her family has lived in a nightmare of what-ifs until a chilling name emerged. Peter Tobin, a Scottish serial killer who stalked the same streets that night. Was Louise his victim, buried in a secret he took to his grave? Welcome to Crimes That Haunt Us, the channel where we dive deep into the most unsettling cases. If you enjoy true crime content like this, hit subscribe and join the community. In the heart of Eastbourne, East Sussex, a seaside town of about 90,000 people in the 1980s, 18-year-old Louise Kay lived a life brimming with youthful vibrancy. Born in 1970, she grew up on the Lindholm Road in Polegate, a residential street in a working-class area where she shared a modest home with her parents, Paul and Sylvia, and her sister, Nicola. The Kays were a close-knit family, their humble circumstances reflecting a typical working-class household of the era. Louise's childhood unfolded with the stability of small-town life, marked by spirited adventures in the nearby South Downs and along Eastbourne's pebbled beaches, often with her beloved dog, Ben, a cherished gift from her parents. She'd take Ben to the beach with friends, his wagging tail a constant in her carefree days. Nicola painted a vivid picture of their bonds. Louise, the more outgoing sibling, took the lead in family activities, organizing picnics and decorating their shared bedroom, teaching Nicola to braid her hair and sharing her clothes, a protective sister who filled their home with warmth. Louise's personality blossomed into her teenage years, bubbly, independent, and fiercely individual. She had a deep love for 1980s pop hits, often playing cassette tapes of chart-topping artists, singing along as she dressed in the latest fashion trends, her keen eye for clothing a hallmark of her vibrant spirit. Her social life revolved around Eastbourne's nightlife scene, particularly the discos at Eastbourne Pier, a popular venue on Grand Parade known for its weekly events that drew local teens like moths to a neon flame. Louise, now 18, embarked on what would become her final night out. Around 7 p.m., she gathered with friends, her boyfriend Pete, her best friend Sarah Emerson, and another friend named John, for a Friday night disco at Eastbourne Pier, a well-known entertainment venue on the seafront at Grand Parade. Louise, driving her father's gold Ford Fiesta, registration RFG 740R, with its distinctive white driver's door, arrived in high spirits. The event, a regular haunt for local teenagers, pulsed with live music. Between 11 p.m. and midnight, the group reveled in the electric atmosphere, witnesses later confirming to police that Louise appeared in good spirits, dancing and socializing with friends. Pete was by her side. The couple observed interacting, though the details of their conversation were lost in the night. As the disco ended around midnight, the group prepared to leave, stepping into the cool sea air, unaware of the darkness that awaited. By 12:30 a.m. on June 24, 1988, Louise, Pete, Sarah, and John exited Eastbourne Pier, piling into the Fiesta as Louise took the wheel to drive them home. The route wound through Eastbourne's town centre, likely along Terminus Road and Seaside and other drop-off points, but the night took a bitter turn. During the drive, an argument erupted between Louise and Pete over their planned trip to Newquay. Pete, grappling with rent obligations, revealed he could no longer afford the trip, a detail Sarah would later confirm in police interviews. The argument escalated and Pete, frustrated, asked to be let out. Louise pulled over, likely on a residential street in Eastbourne, and Pete exited, walking away into the night around 1 a.m., leaving Louise upset but determined to continue on. Somewhere along the way, Louise then dropped off John. We must surmise then that Louise drove on with Sarah in the distinctive golden Fiesta, cutting through Eastbourne's quiet streets. The exact amount of time Louise and Sarah spent together after dropping off John is unknown. Eventually, they then headed towards Watts Lane, where Sarah lived. In those early morning hours, Louise and Sarah discussed the evening, the argument with Pete, his decision to postpone Nuki, and the emotional fallout. Sarah would later tell police that Louise seemed upset but not unusually distressed, her resolve a faint echo of the bubbly girl they knew. At approximately 4 a.m., Sarah exits Louise's Fiesta, but she's concerned. She turns and invites Louise in, but Louise declines, stating she didn't feel like it. Sussex police reports and family statements reveal a haunting discrepancy. Louise mentioned she might sleep in her car at Beachy Head, a known habit, but also told Sarah she might head home to Lindholm Road in Polegate. Sarah watched as Louise drove off in the Fiesta, the car heading towards Beachy Head or toward Polegate, the last confirmed sighting of Louise Kay alive. After 4 a.m., Louise vanished into the night, her fate a chilling void. Beachy Head, a 531-foot chalk cliff area 5 miles west of Eastbourne, loomed as a possible destination, its limited lighting and lack of surveillance in 1988 making it a ghostly expanse. The drive from Watts Lane to Beachy Head would take 10 to 15 minutes, with minimal traffic at that hour, while the route to Polegate, where Louise lived, 4 miles north, would take a similar time. Sussex police later canvassed the area, interviewing residents and checking laybys, but no witnesses reported seeing the car or Louise after 4 a.m. The silence was deafening. A bright young woman and a distinctive gold Fiesta with a white driver's door gone without a trace. By 7 a.m. on June 24, 1988, unease gripped the Kay family. Louise hadn't returned to Lindholm Road, her absence stark against their expectations of her return after a night out. Paul checked her bedroom, finding it empty, the driveway missing the Fiesta. At 9 a.m., Paul and Sylvia reported her missing to Sussex police, their initial report painting a vivid picture. Louise, 5 feet 6 inches, slim with green-grey eyes, light brown hair and a small tattoo on her arm, last seen wearing jeans, a top, though color unspecified, and possibly a jacket. The gold Fiesta with its white driver's door became a critical focus. Its description circulated immediately as a key identifier in the search. Sussex police initially treated the case as a missing person investigation, their officers fanning out across Eastbourne and Polegate, interviewing residents along potential routes, Seaside, Grand Parade and the A2270 towards Beachy Head. But no one recalled seeing the Fiesta, raising a chilling question. How could a distinctive vehicle vanish without a trace in a town of 90,000 people? Between June 25th and June 27th, 1988, Sussex police launched a widespread search, zeroing in on Beachy Head due to Louise's habit of sleeping there in her car. Officers and volunteers combed the cliff area, scouring parking spots and surrounding scrubland, while Coast Guard teams searched the sea below, given Beachy Head's grim history as a suicide hotspot. But no trace of the car or Louise emerged. No debris, no body, nothing. Police then interviewed Pete, Sarah and John, reconstructing Louise's final moments. Pete confirmed the argument and his exit around 1 a.m., while Sarah provided the final sighting at Watts Lane. Their statements were consistent, yet the lack of a clear destination home or Beachy Head created an ambiguity that gnawed at investigators. Checks at local hospitals and bus stations turned up empty. The Ford Fiesta's absence became a haunting enigma. Its registration, RFG 740R, circulated nationally, but no hits emerged from scrapyards, sale records, or tax logs. Sussex police contacted garages across Sussex and beyond, appealing for reports of a gold car with a white door scrapped or sold between June and July 1988. But no matches surfaced. The car's disappearance suggested a chilling possibility. It had been destroyed off-record, repainted, or hidden in a private location, erasing Louise's last known trace. Without Louise or the car, the police had little to go on, leaving the Kay family and friends trapped in a nightmarish limbo. The investigation struggled against the limitations of 1980s technology. CCTV was non-existent in Eastbourne's residential areas, and DNA profiling, first used in the UK in 1986, wasn't widely available, creating a forensic void. No physical evidence, blood, fingerprints, or tire marks was recovered, as no crime scene could be identified. Beachy Head, with its history of over 500 recorded suicides since the 1960s, became a focal point, its isolation and fog-prone mornings a potential cloak for an accident or abduction. Yet no skid marks, debris, or eyewitnesses suggested a car plunging off the cliff, despite its proximity to the road. Initial canvassing missed potential late-night observers. Eastbourne's seafront, active with fishermen and insomniacs, might have held a witness who saw the Fiesta but never came forward. The 1988 investigation's reliance on door-to-door inquiries without modern tools like social media or dash cams left gaps in witness recall, a void that would widen the 30-year gap before renewed interest. The weather offered no clues. Meteorological records for June 24, 1988 show clear skies in Eastbourne with temperatures at between 12 and 15 centigrade overnight. The absence of rain or fog should have aided visibility, yet no one spotted the Fiesta, an anomaly that fueled theories of a deliberate ambush in a blind spot, possibly near Beachy Head's less patrolled lanes. Louise's sister, Nicola, shared a haunting detail with police. The family found Louise's diary at home, its pages filled with entries about her Nuki plans but no hint of distress, a stark normalcy that clashed with her sudden absence, suggesting a rapid, unforeseen event. Over the next 5 to 6 years, Sussex police held periodic reviews and launched appeals, distributing missing person flyers with Louise's photo and the car's description, but public response remained limited, each lead dissolving into thin air. For nearly 2 decades, Louise Kay's disappearance remained a chilling mystery etched into the quiet cliffs of Eastbourne. No body, no car, no answers. Just a bright young woman who vanished into the night in June 1988, and a family left shattered in her wake, their hope dwindling with each passing year. In 2006, a seismic shift rocked the case. Peter Tobin, a name that would soon become synonymous with deception, manipulation, and murder, was arrested for the brutal killing of Angelica Cluck, a 23-year-old student found buried beneath a church in Glasgow. As investigators peeled back the layers of Tobin's life, they uncovered a nomadic predator, a man who lived under multiple identities, crisscrossing the UK, leaving a trail of suspicion and, potentially, bodies in his wake. Operation Anagram, an unprecedented police effort, was launched to trace Tobin's movements and link him to unsolved crimes. Among the names of the missing, one stood out: Louise Kay. The connections were chilling. In 1988, Tobin had been working at a hotel in Eastbourne, just a mile from where Louise was last seen. The gold Ford Fiesta with its white driver's door was never recovered. Yet Tobin, authorities learned, had experience repainting and selling cars through auction yards, a known method for hiding evidence. Days before her disappearance, Louise had reportedly met a mysterious Scottish man in Eastbourne who gave her money for petrol, a man who vanished just like she did. Tobin, a Scotsman known for using charm and money to disarm his victims, fit the profile. The similarities didn't stop there. Like Louise, Vicky Hamilton and Dina McNicol were young, trusting, and disappeared without a trace until years later, when their bodies were found buried in Tobin's former garden in Margate, a grim testament to his predatory methods. When Operation Anagram detectives questioned Tobin, he denied all involvement.
Her parents don't know, or her father doesn't know where she is, her family. No,
Sorry, can I help? Was I say under the matter?
you have no knowledge of where.
No.
And with no direct evidence, no charges were brought, leaving the Kay family grasping at shadows once more. Operation Anagram also cast a spotlight on another case, Jessie Earl, who vanished from the Beachy Head area in 1980. Her skeletal remains, discovered in 1989, some 9 years after she vanished, showed evidence of strangulation, her wrists bound with her own bra, a grim echo of violence. Tobin dramatically relocated to Scotland shortly after her remains were found, a move that raised suspicion. Jessie too had spoken of a persistent Scottish man who wouldn't leave her alone, a figure living in Brighton, just like Tobin at the time. Both Louise and Jessie vanished from the southern coast of England under mysterious circumstances, their last known encounters hauntingly similar. This chilling pattern of a Scottish predator lurking in seaside towns became a crucial thread, tying their disappearances to Tobin's dark past. On April 5, 2018, Mark Williams Thomas, a former detective turned investigator, reignited hope in ITV's The Investigator, a British crime story. He asserted with absolute certainty that Tobin killed Louise, citing his South Coast presence and opportunistic methods. Williams Thomas pointed to 22 Windlesham Road in Brighton, Tobin's former residence, as a potential burial site, proposing a forensic dig to uncover the truth. But Brighton and Hove City Council, which owned the property, and Sussex Police declined, citing a lack of new evidence. Williams Thomas offered to fund the search, relocate tenants, and restore the garden, but the refusal, despite a petition with over 350 signatures, fueled speculation of a cover-up or bureaucratic inertia, leaving the Kay family's plea for closure unanswered. Tobin, serving a whole-life order at HM Prison Edinburgh, remained a wall of silence. Despite police efforts post-2010 to elicit confessions, he offered nothing. Reports swirled that he boasted of up to 48 victims in prison, a claim unverified but echoed by Detective Superintendent David Swindle, who led Operation Anagram and stated in 2018, "I think Peter Tobin has killed many other victims and their bodies will be buried somewhere." But on October 8, 2022, Tobin died at Edinburgh Royal Infirmary, taking any chance of a confession with him to the grave, deepening the mystery of how many lives he may have claimed and leaving Louise's fate hanging in the balance of the unknown. Decades have passed, yet the mystery of Louise Kay's disappearance remains as haunting and unresolved as the day she vanished. No trace of her or her car has ever been found, leaving a void filled only by questioned and fractured memories. Though her life was cut tragically short, Louise Kay's bright spirit and boundless passion continue to shine in the memories of all who loved her. 18 years of laughter, dreams, and love were stolen in a single night, but her legacy endures as a reminder of the preciousness of every moment. May we honor Louise by keeping her story alive, championing the search for truth, and holding fast to hope for all those still missing. Thank you for watching and listening to Louise's story. Please feel free to add your own thoughts, comments, and theories in the comment section below, and we'll see you next time.